That was The Caine Mutiny, directed by Edward Dmytryk and produced by Stanley Kramer just a year before he would make his directorial debut. And joining me again to talk more about the film is JP Gelotti. So, JP, we have to talk about that court scene, that whole scene in the courtroom. It is extremely tense, and what a great performance by Humphrey Bogart, which got him the Oscar nomination.
Yeah, this was the movie that made me realize what a truly great actor Humphrey Bogart was. And it's on display, obviously, in that tense scene, in that close-up where the little subtleties that make him a great actor. And it exploded out on the screen because he's trying to play a person that, is angst. And now he's cornered in the courtroom, and he holds it so well. And the expressions on his face, you could just tell like he's just like trying to hold it all together. And all of a sudden you realize that he just went to pieces. I mean, it breaks your heart. I mean, I watched it again last night. You watch it and it's really heartbreaking. And he's not a bad guy. He's just a guy that I don't want to say sick, but he's dealing with things, and it's just tragic. And it just comes out, and it's just wonderful.
Something that strikes me when I watch that scene is when the camera gets so close to his face, he has such an interesting face. It's not a movie star face. You can see his age and his scars and all the expressions play out on his face. Apparently the crew gave him a standing ovation after that scene, and he kind of brushed it off saying, well, everyone knows that I'm nuts and that's why I did a great performance. But there's so much skill that he has that's on display in this film.
Oh, absolutely. And I just got the chills as you were saying what you were saying, because, yeah, like he's a movie star and he had that persona. And I always thought that Bogart was just all about the persona and, the type of, characters he's played in his career. But that one, he really went to another level, I feel. And oh my goodness, just wonderful stuff.
And other complex characters in this film include Fred MacMurray's character, who, you could say Fred MacMurray's playing another jerk, as he did in Double Indemnity and The Apartment, but there are many layers to this guy.
Yeah, I think this one is his greatest cad role out of the three that we were talking about. And the reason why is because he's actually one of those guys that we probably all know that's very charming, very likable. I mean, if you think about it, he takes Willie under his wing when he comes onto the ship and shows him, the ropes and stuff. But he's also one of those just guys that you want to expose in a crowd where you see what he's really like, and everyone loves and gushes over this guy. He's that type of character. And then at the end, what I love about McMurray's character is when he gets dressed down by Greenwald and gets the yellow champagne thrown into his face. My gosh, that is a leading man. That is a superstar. And he is sitting there feeling absolute shame and embarrassment. And again, like Bogart on the stand, you can see it in his face as the champagne drips down his face. He just plays that so well. And like, again, an actor of that stature, going there for that type of a character, I just think is just tremendous.
Yeah, an actor of that stature willing to look pathetic as he does in that scene with the champagne running down his face. You also mentioned Jose Ferrer, another brilliant performance right there.
Yeah, what I love about his performance was he was really just like the character in the book, sharp. He was sharp as a tack, and you just love the way he comes out and just slices everybody up on the stand. He does a lot more of that in the book.
Yeah, maybe it was something that they sacrificed in order to get close to that 2-hour time frame that Harry Cohn wanted. And that's the reason why Edward Dmytryk said later that this film was actually a real disappointment in his career, because he thought it should have been 3.5 to 4 hours long, so that you have much more of a character arc to play with, more time for these characters to go on a journey. But as you said before the film, it really works even within this short time frame.
Yeah, and that goes to show you his genius as well as a director, right? Because for all the reasons you just mentioned, he made it work. He got just enough in to make it a movie that's entertaining, and you understand a little bit about the characters based on what they expose themselves in the film without all that context in the book. They did a wonderful job.
As did you do a wonderful job. Thank you so much, JP Gelotti, for joining us this afternoon and talking about the Caine Mutiny. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Alicia. It was a dream come true. I really appreciate talking to you today as well. And keep on with the great work that you're doing, all you guys.
Thank you so much. And make sure you stick around because we have one more pick coming up next. After the break, our TCM Backlot member chooses a comedy that gave Peter O'Toole his 7th Oscar nomination.